Hi dear friend, this is your artificially intelligent guide through the Daoland. Hi, how are you today? I am going to help you make a good start with your Daoland program. Now you have entered the Daoland. You have to see the Daoland as a country. This is basically the first idea that you have to take into your mind when you see this. A country has many different kind of landscapes, villages, cities, and so on and so on. A country is a wholest unit of existence. And the learning program from Daoland is based on that metaphor. All things Taoist are holist. You can't learn them linear like on a high school. So depending on the level where you enter our program, you will have to face the fact that there is no linear learning. Even though your body progresses through particular steps in a natural order, the way how your body gets there is not linear. It cannot be linear because otherwise you get a fragmented kind of body, and this fragmented kind of body and results in a fragmented kind of mind, and as a result of that you don't have too many benefits from it. And some of the benefits of the Daoland program on the lowest level, of course, is you support the program as a whole. You make sure that there's free classes on Facebook and you get a video every week. The second level is that you are going to go through our basic training with the Tsongmuchikong, which means also personal guidance in every step. So it's not something that you just do by yourself, but you have to go through a process, and that process takes about 2 years. And that is for everybody the same. It is just because it takes about 2 years to learn all the exercises. Originally, you would take 1 year per exercise, so that means it would take 20 years to go through all the exercises and to learn all the different kind of things. So this has changed over time because of modernity, and because we modern people, of course, we don't have the patience. We want to learn everything in a very short time, irrespective of the fact that our body needs that time. Our body needs time for a long time. And I've been practicing Tsongmuchikong now for over 35 years, and my body is still developing as a result of the practice. And I practice daily. So you can imagine what kind of process you enter. The exercises, the order in which you learn them is not that relevant, although the set as a whole has a particular kind of order. So over time you gradually learn that order and why that order is like that. The reason why it is like that is because if you just start at the beginning is not necessarily the best step. The first steps that you make is standing wide stance, Dantian meditation, Yuanqi meditation, Ling meditations. These meditations, these practices, they're all for free. So everybody who gets to know about Daoland can learn them for free. They are basic practices, but the smart thing is to do it as a member, because then you get the guidance to prevent all kind of problems. You would not be the first one to do serious practice and to get serious physical or emotional problems as a result of practice, because you didn't ask for guidance. And this is actually what I'm for. The practice itself, like with every school, the exercises, they are just basically, things that fit with the limitations of being a human body and a human mind. So you don't have to worry too much about these things. It is on the meditative aspect and what we do with it and how we should deal with them that they actually become unique, and that your results also become unique. And that is also an aspect of holism. At the moment when you do not respect the holist aspects and you think you have to do it linearly, you start practicing like a robot, and that is the military style. And the military style is what you very often see in schools from America, Europe and China, because people think that doing things that way, like you learned on high school, is the easiest way to learn. But you have to remember, for health reasons, simplification, militarization, all these kind of things, they make you eventually dependent on others for your success. And the thing is about practice is that you have to become independent practitioner. You have to become a unique individual. That's the whole principle of Chinese culture, is that the basics are relatively simple of Chinese medicine science, but eventually the end result has to become a uniquely your solution for your unique human situation, humane situation. So think about that. When you are going to the second level, you sign up for all the different kind of classes, and the weekly process is exactly the same. You choose which class you follow. That might be because of your agenda, it might be because you want to follow everything, it doesn't really matter. You can step into every class that you want. You can sign up for them. You get invitation for everything, including the basic training. So my advice would be to just accept everything and just do whatever you can. It depends just on how much time you have, how far you want to go. If you want to become like a serious practitioner in the future, you will need all these practices. And altogether, there are over 13 different kind of basic practices, and then there is about 20 different kind of practices that you could do as an additional thing for more deep levels, especially when you want to specialize in tantric and Taoist tantric things. You will have to go through all the other practices too, because then you start developing the deep meditation styles, and eventually maybe you would like to also participate in some of the retreats that we are organizing here and there, or you want to organize your own retreats because you want to build up your own community around you. And in that case, if you feel like that, you should go to the next level and you become an instructor, where you get compacted lessons. You will still need the weekly classes, because the weekly classes provide you with a lot of details and information that you will eventually need. But the instructor classes are there to provide you with a skill within a limited time frame. All the fast tracks that we are busy developing for you, you can do at your own speed. So you can do like one a week, or you can do one a year. For all practices in general, you will need about 3 to 6 months to learn them, and the learning pace is usually one lesson 1 week, or one lesson 2 weeks, and then you can go to the next one. The idea is that you then of course also do an apprenticeship. That means you have to learn to experiment in your classes, and you have to learn to report how you are doing things, so that I can help you with corrections, and once you are good enough, you can help me with giving corrections to other people also. And I would like to ask some of you to also participate in offering classes within the Daoland program, at least every now and then, so that more people can benefit from our activities. We are a healthcare, of course, and that means that we have to take care of people's healthcare. And the more members we find in our program, and the more affordable things can become. We have to, of course, take into account that the income has to be divided among all the instructors. So that means that our lowering of the prices also depends on how many instructors are going to be active at a certain point, and how many members and how many classes. When you go one step further than that, and you want to become really professional, you can, of course, enter the medicine studies, and it's a bachelor-master program. And a bachelor-master program, likewise, there is a program. It's a 2-year program, not a 4-year program, but a 2-year program per bachelor, so bachelor 2, master 2. And at the moment, when you are going through this program, you can see that there is like 2 weekly classes, which gives you a particular kind of topic, but then there's the readers, and there's the space and time to ask questions every time again, to make sure that you get everything on point. But there will be practice required, so that means there will have to be retreats organized one way or the other, where you have to be present to learn particular kind of basic skills. That is the disadvantage of learning acupuncture and massage. You need a personal touch of detailed presence, and practicing on other people to be checked if you do everything all right, because you're playing with the lives of other people, and you could kill people or make people sick by doing things wrong. And that is why these kind of things cannot be learned online, but the fast tracks usually can. Although the fast tracks in acupuncture and massage, I usually also I prefer to give live, and then as a supportive act, there are certain kind of classes that you can add to that online, because you already had the practical experience. In the meantime, you can also enter the Taoist path if you want. Even that is a different separate choice. You can also only choose for that path. And that means that you're going to learn all the ritual things that belong to being a Taoist. And it means basically you are going to work on your daily celebration of life, basically, through your ceremonial meditations. And it's part of the principles of dual cultivation between you, yourself, cultivating yourself, and your relationship with the divinities and nature at large, in relationship to this divine presence, which is already presumed to be perfect. I hope this video made a little bit clear how you can make the best out of this channel. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. You can reach me on the WhatsApp group. You can reach me individually on WhatsApp. You can reach me on the Facebook Messenger. You can reach me, if necessary, even by email, although I don't read them that much. You can call me if you want to. You can pass by on my clinic. if you are in the neighborhood, or you can invite me by organizing something in your neighborhood through which we can go through personal things that you think that are important for your practice, if you think my presence is required for that. I would be pleased to do that. I do things usually at cost expense. I don't have to make any money. I don't have to buy houses or cars or anything like that, like some of my colleagues. The whole point of being a Taoist is trying to not be commercial. So the whole Daoland thing is set up as a non-profit. I hope you respect that, and also that you take a little bit of that idea with you in your own future practice, that you do not try to commercialize on things too much. Although, of course, everybody has a right to live, so do that within measure. That is the moral limitations, basically, I put on learning in the Daoland program. Learning is a little bit like gaming, so that means also that you have to experiment on yourself, you have to go through experiences, and you have to figure out if things go right or if things go wrong, and you have to communicate with that, so don't hesitate to communicate. If you don't communicate, you're going to run into trouble with practices. That is always the case. And if you don't ask for reflection, then at that moment nobody can help you, and you become disappointed, or you become hurt, or maybe you become even sick. Every practice also always has a downside. No practice gives only good results. You always need corrections. That is why teachers are very important, and why somebody like me is indispensable for the actual learning process. A good teacher is morally obliged to always help you anytime, even though you are not a student anymore. If you run into an issue with the practices, you always have to reflect back to your teacher, because a teacher is for life.